We talked about it earlier in the week, and the topic came up about Sarah Strong, and she went to school at Grace Christian, and then we started talking about Grace Christian, and then we found out we know people at Grace Christian.
That's right.
Then we found out that they're the 3A champion. Grace Christian is, and then we said, well, let's get the coach on to talk about it. Man, we have the basketball coach for Grace Christian right here in Sanford, North Carolina, Coach Andy Woodard. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Good morning. Yeah, he didn't give the whole story. I was like, Andy, that's like my nephew. Like his mom was my friend. They were like, yeah, right. So thank you, Andy.
Pam, this segment's about him.
For coming. Yeah.
It's not about you. Okay.
Then you got to take me to lunch.
No, Reese got to take you lunch. He didn't believe you.
They didn't believe me.
He didn't believe
They didn't believe you?
They didn't believe me.
You came through, though.
I came through for him right here.
He said Wednesday. I said Thursday if it was okay with you, Coach. So I appreciate you coming in on
Not
Thursday.
a problem at all.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
We
Not a
are
problem.
excited. Tell us a little bit about this 3A state championship not too long ago.
Right. So, we came into the season, again, missing probably the best player that I've ever seen girls basketball play in the state of North Carolina. I would probably say maybe in the country with my own eyes, as long as I've been in girls basketball for like the last 15 years. She's a special kid. She can play every position. She's a great leader. And, coming into this season at Grace Christian, we needed to, refill our cup, So we came in, we had a couple high-powered kids, and everybody worked together. And, we just got it. We was able to get it done.
That's awesome. And we're talking about replacing Sarah Strong.
Well, there's no replacing Sarah Strong.
Well, right.
There's no
You're exactly
replacing.
right about that.
There's no replacing her. But, we had some kids, have a couple sophomores that was able to come in. One in Jordan Speller, she's a 4-star guard out of the state of North Carolina. She's awesome. I mean, she's ranked I think number 20 in the country, ESPN. Have another girl, young lady. Her name is Kendall English. She's a 6'3" forward, and she's highly recruited. She has some offers from Boston College, Wake Forest, and currently making her step, making her mark at the school.
That's awesome.
Yeah, making her mark at the school. And I have some young talent too. I have a middle school girl that's pretty good. She was in 7th grade. She actually played on my team this year. Her name is Aubriana Shogreen. So she played on my team, and then, we just filled the gaps. I had some wonderful seniors. They was able to come in and lead and do what they need to do, and we just put it all together.
That's awesome.
Outstanding. We're talking with Coach Andy Woodard for Grace Christian. And we're talking, of course, you're the 3A state championship. We ceen remiss. We've been remiss that we didn't talk about that.
Yes.
But I want to talk a little bit about, because we coming up on a little time here, I want to talk about being a part of the AAU, I guess, feeder system. A lot of people, everybody knows about AAU. It's got good things, reviews, bad reviews, all the time. But we consistently see great coaches and people have great impacts, and have people like Cheryl Strong and others that come out of some of the programs. And you would just talk about how many, athletes that are currently playing right now, championships, getting ready for this NCAA championship, that came through some of the programs, one of the programs that you were part of. Talk about that aspect of the game and how important it is for kids as they kind of move through and progress to get to the next level.
So it's very important for kids to find good situations, right? And when I mean good situations, it's the recruitment process has changed. So many kids, I think we're in an era now where so many kids are so skilled, right, in America, but the IQ, right, the IQ of the kids. And it goes to show a lot of these kids, they play these AAU programs and different stuff, and they go sit. 2 years they sit, transfer portal. Then you hear about them when they're a senior. So what we do with the program I'm affiliated with is called FBC United. All right, my guy Mo is out of Atlanta. He's our national director out of Atlanta. We run more of a college prep program, right? So just for instance, I was telling you guys a couple years ago, you had Zamaria Jones, Jelani Cambridge, Joyce Edwards, all on the same team. All on the same team. And, from that, Raven Johnson,
Yes.
Cordoza, right, Ashlyn Watkins. All these kids are able to coexist. So what we believe in is if you want to get recruited at the top level, if you're on the court with good kids all around you, then you have no other choice. All these kids come in, they're not averaging 25 a game. You know, on the AAU circuit, some of them averaging 12, 13 a game. Everybody doing their part, right? So, you know, it's different levels. But, you know, if we talking about it, you know, Sarah and, you know, her dad, Danny, they did it different. You know, different than I've ever seen it, ever.
Okay.
Never seen it like this before with them. You know, and knowing him and competing against them, he was able to just get those girls, a group of girls, and just cook. And she got good and made everybody better. So that's why I said earlier, there's no replacing a kid like her.
Right.
She made everybody better. Playing against her and competing against them was you couldn't prepare for it. So, you know, when you're going into the process of AAU, I would tell any parent, I would tell any child, make sure in a situation where you can develop before you start getting recruited. Because college coaches don't want babies. That's what they call babies. Right. They don't want babies.
That's right. That's right.
We don't have to. I mean, it's just like actually attending college.
Right. Yeah.
They will prefer, you know, some things you already have and you've mastered before you even attend college because it's a short period of time and they're trying to get a lot of things done and they don't want to have to cover things that you should have done 2 years before or a year and a half before, what have you, because you're automatically going to be a year and a half behind in progression in sports. We need you to produce now.
Right.
We need you to produce now. That's the reason that you're here.
And these coaches, their job is on the line.
Yeah, because I need you to produce now.
Yeah.
Yeah, their job's on the line. Like you see, you know, Keats from NC State. Like
That's
you know,
right.
last year he made a big run, and this year it's like, hey man, what's going on? So,
Right.
What have you done for me lately?
What have you done for me lately? Yeah, and the NIL, the money.
Yeah.
The money.
Right. So talking about the money, being around, you know, because there's all types of conversations about high school kids now getting NIL money and, you know, where it starts, how it starts, you know, and then the money that's in some of the AAU programs, how did that, like, how pervasive is it now and how young does this process start talking about, worrying about the money?
I think the talk is more than the reality. Right? Like, I can't tell you right now. I'm in it heavy. I can't tell you right now. I couldn't count 5 kids that's getting NIL money in high school. I don't know 5.
Wow.
And I know some of the top players in the country.
Wow.
So
that's an interesting narrative because if you were to listen to all of the media people and all of the press and all the people complaining, you would make the legislature, you would think that, you know, it's being handed out like it was free.
Right.
So the thing is this, right? It's you got to really break it down, and there's so much misinformation, correct? So NIL, right? Name, image, likeness.
Right.
The first thing you got to have is a name. And your name, your badge is your Instagram.
Right. Because you don't even have a driver's license. You ain't got no name.
Exactly.
You can't have, but you can't have 500 followers.
Yeah.
And they want you to have an NIL. You don't have an impact.
Right.
So if, let's say, you guys wanted to say, hey, for the sports shop, I want one of your athletes to be the NIL athlete, right?
Right.
All right. You would want somebody with 20,000 followers.
Right.
Because when she posts your stuff, you want your market to go up.
That's right.
Right?
Right.
Some of these kids have 1,000 followers and they're talking about an NIL deal.
No, they're not going to get it.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
Oh, my God.
It doesn't work like that.
But before I let you go, also, I guess the biggest difference, because you played college basketball and also played overseas, and so 2009 in that era, so the big difference now is the NIL. But how do you adjust with coaching players at these different levels with all of these distractions real quickly?
Well, the thing that I try to tell all these kids is, let's try to get you in a position to invest this money because this money won't last. Like $2 million is not going to retire you, right?
That's right.
It's not going to retire
That's
you.
what Kmac said.
It's not going to retire you. It's not going to retire you.
Bro, you
It's not
still
gonna
gonna have to
retire
work,
you.
bro. I got to break the
gotta
news
work.
to you. I hate to break the news to you. You got to work.
Yeah, you got to work. You do got to work. And I heard you guys, you know, I think the poll question is about the NFL draft also, right?
Yep.
So it's also a kid, shed some light on him, Desmond Evans. He played basketball for me. He's from my neighborhood in Sanford.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Yeah.
he was the number 1 player in, 2019. He was the number 1 football player overall. And he was at UNC now. He just graduated defensive end. So we just had his pro day the other day.
Yep.
And,
You did. That's right.
Yeah, so he's headed into the NFL draft. So, hopefully he's able to make a career out of
All right,
football.
we're gonna talk about him on our draft show. Then we're gonna
Oh,
talk
yeah,
about
we're
him.
definitely going to talk
yes.
about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Thank you,
We can
Coach.
get his
Appreciate
parents
you
on.
coming in.
Thank you so much.
Man, it's been a pleasure.
Appreciate
Pam.
it.
Thank you so
All right,
much.
Pam, maybe you do know some people.
There you go. I do. I'm proud
We'll
of
see you on the other side.
Thank you so much.
Let's go.
Appreciate it.